everyone is Char from Char's Fascination now. Yes, I'm not, you know, doing my usual. Always cheery here, always trying to be positive. Now, there is a missing persons case, as a lot of people will know right now. I love my e-read. I really do, my e-read. I will link them because they are really awesome. There's a discussion forum going on right now. A lot of people are all ha ha ha. Shit is not funny when a person comes up missing. No. Did the FBI find the body in the Grand Teton? Yes. But what is so identifiable about a body? Tattoos. Wow, how do I know about this? Jeez. I have 26 identifiable tattoos. And the body they found had none. So is it Gabby? No. No. And to me, it's a bit suspicious that they're going to say, oh, well, we found the body and it has to be. No. If it doesn't have her two very identifiable tattoos, that's not her. Am I sorry to say that? There's some other family out there that's probably looking for their missing family member around the same age as Gabby and needing some closure. Okay, so is missing person is something to ha ha about? No, it never is. The news broke the story late. She's been missing for a month. Or they've discombobulated the story, which I pretty much think they did because they said people have found her van at different locations. The breaking story on that is the fiance drove her van back to Florida without her in it. So is there DNA in there? Absolutely. Are there clues inside of that van? Of course, YouTube has taken down her channel or put a hold on it due to the investigation. That right there, and I believe she also had a TikTok. That right there speaks volumes. Okay, basically you cannot find her YouTube channel anymore. And as for TikTok, I'm no longer on TikTok. Too many bullies. So when a person comes up missing, should society be all ha 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 ha, she had this problem? I have OCD. And I will explain something about OCD to you. Okay, when you have OCD, how the inside of your home, a vehicle, around the home, your personal items, things have to be a specific way when it comes down to OCD. Does that mean that she was mentally distraught? Do we know what he did to her before she went across his face? No, because ain't nobody talking about that. What did he do to that girl to piss her off enough that she would scratch his face in her vehicle, in which the police, if you watch the body cam video, she's sitting there crying. What did he do to deserve the scratches on his face? Nobody's talking about that, are they? Are they? No, they're not. So let's speak up about what may have happened. Okay, he may have just said some out of the blue shit about their engagement. Like I said, you can't find her channel anymore. There's a bunch of clues in there, so there's all that. And but to say that they found a body in the Grand Tetons, which They were looking in the shrubs. Why are you specifically looking in the shrubs? In the Grand Tetons, there is so much out there that it's not just a forest area, it's a desert forest. Okay, the Grand Tetons has caves in there. There are caves. I'm not saying that he didn't put a body in a cave. I'm not saying that he even killed her. He could have knocked her out and just left her there. But why break that story super, super late? What are they helping him cover up? One reporter did say they have not seen him come out of that house through the front door. There is always a back door to a house where he could have just escaped because the van isn't there. Where's the van? He drove it back. He drove it back. So, is it in police custody? Do her family members have it? His own sister spoke up about he won't speak to the authorities. A couple of people on the news this morning were saying he's not obligated to give the information. Sorry about the stupid dog. But that's not true. He's actually obligated because he was the last person to see her and or see her alive. Like I said, I'm not implicating that she's dead. And, but there's so many theoreticals to this case. It's now a case. If the FBI gets involved, okay, they don't normally get involved people over a certain age. So if the FBI gets involved in on something, was one of those families, we don't know this either, it's just a theory, was one of those families in the witness protection program. Just a thought. I'm like, she looks familiar. Okay, she looks very familiar to me. He looks very familiar to me. Okay, so looking at this whole thing, she's been missing since August 21st. They're busting this story kind of late. Or did they actually leave on August 21st to go cross country? They're not making that clear. So that's a problem, number one. That is a problem. If they're breaking a case, saying that a person's been missing that long, you're breaking that case like out there kind of late, sorry. But what I'm saying is, when it comes down to missing people, it's never funny when a person goes missing. It's never funny if a person's been murdered. It's just or sold for human trafficking. She's a very pretty girl, very young, and unfortunately, some scumbag like that would probably do that. Why was he driving her all the way out to Utah, and then all of a sudden, instead of Utah, right, which was where they were supposedly at, now they say Wyoming. Okay, yeah. Okay, but yes, Utah and Wyoming. So, wait, no, Ogallala, Nebraska is in a different area. I've been there. And that's just like nothing. There's nothing there. So, anyway, because this is very serious, okay? Something like that is never funny. I mean, seriously, if he did sell her and just drove off, like, who would be in the right mindset just to leave somebody behind, right? Where is that mindset coming from? Like, oh my God, I gotta leave quick. Why didn't you contact the authorities? Oh, she's missing. Oh my gosh, she's missing. Because the scumbag has some shit to cover up. There you go. I'm just gonna say it. The scumbag has some shit to cover up. And now they're trying to say, oh, he's missing. He ain't the fuck missing. He's hiding. Who's helping him hide? Florida. It's full of alligators. Maybe he'll get his karma in hiding. Not saying he should, but he's evading being arrested and going to prison because of one of those dudes or several in there we don't know might make him their biatch for doing such a thing. You know, because they will do that. I mean, come on, you can't say that he's not guilty. He left with her van. That van is somewhere. It's not out in the freaking desert. If they found a van similar to that, then they're covering something up. Sorry, the cat's making some weird noises. The heck's being with the old lady. But anyway. So yeah, is this something to take serious? Let's just put it this way. If you had a daughter that age, I have a daughter around that age. If you had a daughter that age, you'd be worried too. You would definitely be worried about your child. And I think some of these people that make the negative comments, maybe you don't got no children, to know what it's like to, you know, be searching for your kid. So people really need to take that to heart. Like, what if it was one of your family members? How would you feel? Would you feel like crap because you don't know where they are? Why are you still in Florida? Should you not be out where she was last seen? Asking questions? Perhaps somebody at that stop where they stopped, and that's on body cam. Perhaps somebody from there may have, and I'm just putting this out there, it's a theory, maybe somebody from that stop in concern for the young lady may have followed to make sure she was okay because there was some sort of, you know, dispute at that location. That's why the police were called. We don't know what actually went down. They haven't showed store camera footage. That witness hasn't come forward. That's a thought right there. That witness has not come forward to speak on this. Now that's super important. And since he was put up in a hotel and she went on her merry way down the road, why the hell would you go back and pick him up? Or did the police take you to her? I'm trying to figure this out. Like, how did that happen? He stayed in a hotel, right? They put him in a hotel just to separate them. So just work with this. How the hell did he end up with her van again? Did he call her and say, oh, I'm so sorry for what I did? Because we don't, like I said, we do not know what he did to deserve her scratching his face when they got in that vehicle. Apparently there was some sort of big fight, like I said, because a witness called the police. That's why there's body cam footage. Nobody in their right mind would pick up a piece of scum and just be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I apologize, when it was probably the scumbag that needed to put himself in place and just take a flight home, take a train, whatever. He could have rented a car and drove back. They separated them and their stuff. So his stuff was not in the vehicle. They took him and his belongings and took him to a hotel. So was there some sort of like, did he not stay in the hotel and just found a way to find her? We don't know that. Is the news lying to us? Never believe them. Never believe them. like I said, like I was supposed to be, oh, it's a crutch. Sorry, I kept thinking that was a piece of my hair. It's one of my crutches. And we don't know. They're just not telling the full story. So there's absolutely something wrong with the whole thing. Like, we see the body cam footage, but there's no store footage. As we well know, these days stores have cameras for security purposes. So where is the footage from said store? Because we also know that most stores with a gas station or a huge parking lot will have cameras. Why? Security purposes. Where is that footage? I would love to know this. Would you love to know this? I think you might want to know this. I would love to know this. What do I know about a person being sold for human trafficking or being put in as a slave? Somebody tried to hold me as a slave for a month. And my friend that I live here now, he rescued me. So, he's a great friend. But, and that's a real friend. If you're sold into human trafficking because of some dirtbag, or you're held somewhere because of some dirtbag, right? You don't know. Nobody actually knows this. And like I said, this is just my theory. Is if he, and who is he speaking with that sparked this fight when they got in the vehicle? Was he talking to someone to sell her? See, we don't know that part either. They gave him too long to wipe his phone clean. They gave him way too long to wipe his devices. Why was there no warrant? Why was there no warrant for his devices? I would love to know this myself. Would you love to know this? I would love to know this. There should have immediately been a warrant of surrender for his devices. There was no warrant of surrender for those devices. And like I said, the FBI, they got involved in this real quick, which makes me think, just my theory on this, just my theory, if somebody was in the witness protection program, was it her family or his family or both? And that's why he's in hiding? Think about that. Think very seriously about that, because I have mafia friends and I know the shit that goes down. Like the Chicago Mafia back in the 80s wanted me to be like one of their drivers, and then they also wanted me to marry one of their thugs so that I could have this lavish place full of fur coats and whatever I wanted, diamonds and whatever. And I told them no, because I needed the panels in that apartment for running drugs, guns, and humans. I told them no. They still owe me a favor, by the way. They owe me a favor. Maybe I should have them go find Gabby. Anyway, they're not my only mafia hookups, but yeah, for the Italian mafia, they're not my only Italian mafia people. So, the fact that they could, and that's why I'm saying the FBI got involved like super quick. You're only going to get involved that quick if somebody is in the witness protection program. Does anybody bother to think about that instead of like, oh, this is what happened and da 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 da. Really? 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 Because it seems to me, like I said, the FBI got involved way too quick, which brings that to the theoreticals of witness protection program. Ooh. And how quick did they find a body, but with no tattoos? She had dos tattoos. very unique to her. Those tattoos. You think about that. Because a tattoo goes beneath the dermis level of the skin, right? This one's messed up because of some medication one year. But it's the dermis level, just beneath the skin. You can't cut that off without flesh bleeding everywhere. This is true. You can't just torch it off without leaving a mark. That would have to be laser removal. And on top of that, when it's laser removed, there's still some areas of scarring that show from the laser removal what the tattoo actually was shaped like and looked like. And tattoo removal places do have records. So who's this body with no tattoos? That's the other question. Who is this poor girl that came up missing at some point with no tattoos around the same time? Because that is a damn good question. Damn good question. And with that, I just want you guys to think about this. If this was your family member, would you be pissed that some other people out there thinking shit's a joke? I'd be pissed. Somebody almost kidnapped one of my daughters one year to take her for human trafficking. And I got pissed and made sure that bitch got the fuck away from my daughter. Hell no. So you think about that. When it comes down to somebody else's life, that shit is not a joke. This is somebody's life out there, we don't know where. And think about all the footage, think about the footage that isn't there, think about what the news isn't willing to talk about. Think about the footage of this one reporter that was outside that guy's house making a report saying, well, he's supposedly missing, right? But there's a back door on the house. He could have gone out that back door. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you for your excellent reporting on that, because she's very suspicious of this whole thing. And I applaud you for your Floridian news broadcasting. Because she was an amazing, tell the truth, news broadcaster. And I applaud you for your truthfulness, because that's hard to come by in the news. But yeah, think about that. Like I said, if it was your family member, look, my chicken wings are going away. Anyway, if that was your family member, and especially that petite, would she have been able to defend herself? Probably, if she knew self-defense. Don't say that if somebody comes up on you and puts across to you that you can't defend yourself. That's not actually true. Doesn't mean take their hand and do that movie thing, and that's not how that works. There are other moves for self-defense when somebody grabs you like this, like across like this. And there are other moves that you can do to release yourself. Absolutely. So, with that said, I want people to take this very serious out there, because this family needs some closure. They need their little girl back. Like I said, somebody tried to kidnap my oldest girl, and but I made sure that was stopped in a hot second. Trust me, I had people ready to go to bring her back. Not very many people have that. So please think about it, because we all need to make sure that Gabby is found, whether alive or not. Whether she's injured and can get some help, let's hope that somebody out there can find her and bring some closure for her family, because it's not a joke. And it could be your family member that this could happen to next. So take that in thought, and let's all hope that Gabby is found soon.